Don't you dare judge me. Don't judge my cuts and bruises because they're the witnesses to my pain and agony. Don't judge my unsuccessful suicidal attempts because they're the reason I'm not dead today. Don't judge the number of bottles I drink because they're the only company that can bear my lamentations. Don't you dare judge my depression because it's the only evidence that I too have emotional manifestations. See, you're giving me a dirty look right now, yet you don't realize the plank that is polluting your carnal eyes. Haven't you been reading? I was made clean because of Jesus' bleeding. He says, he who has no sin be the first to cast a stone. Yes, he who has no sin be it God who makes me grin, because he sets an appointment for the day he counts my sins. So how dare you judge me today? Okay, so I prostituted myself, sold my soul to the one below who paid me, sexually transmitted indignations that infected me with the 7 viruses that the Lord finds abominable. Haughty eyes, a naughty heart, lying tongue, conniving eyes, bloody hands, evil feet, and a disrupted mind that caused brothers to disagree. Yes, I confess to being pregnant with the sin that aborted the Holy Spirit and left my body barren of all things good. And like the fig tree, I wasn't able to bear my spiritual fruit. Nonetheless, this doesn't give you ammunition to judge me. Instead, it should give you more reason to fetch a scarab lug to scrub out the piled up sands and shrubs from my previous wildlife. Instead, practice the love of God that Jesus taught you so that people know who your Maker is. Let His consuming fire consume the fumes that fused out the light that brightened the life of those accused. Instead of judging me, why aren't you hugging me? And while hugging me, why aren't you loving me? You stand there piercing me with your thoughts, forgetting that I'm protected by the helmet of salvation and the breastplate of my Lord's righteousness. You forget that it is during my most vulnerable time that the Lord is nearest to you. He who has no sin, be the first to cast a stone. Clearly, he who has no sin doesn't wish to cast a stone, but wouldn't mind striking a stone to quench my thirst. Oh, what a friend I have in Jesus, who allows me to cast my anxieties unto Him. The same Jesus that Isaiah prophesies about, that He will take on my illnesses and bear my diseases. The same Jesus that calls me when I'm weary and heavy laden so He can give me rest. Yes, this is the Jesus who is knocking at my, your, our door, waiting to dine with me, him, her, simply because he has an interest in me, you, us. Isn't He the best? Oh, now I get it. I understand why David was so glad to go to the Lord's house. I understand why birds do not stress when they migrate in winter about what they would eat. I understand why Simeon wasn't scared of dying after having seen Jesus Christ. Now I understand why Job, after being through great afflictions, would rather enjoy that than curse the Lord. And most of all, I understand why my faith, like gold, has to go through the furnace before being purified. And if you would like this knowledge too, the Lord above says to you, be still, be still, be still.